Stop recording button.
So, there are two bits of news that interested me this week. One is the announcement of the new Pope of the Catholic Church, and number two is the history, the full gist about what happened to Very Dark Man, and it's all deal with GT back on the one hand and the EFCC on the other hand. So, this video makes sense. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Eccentric Side. So, let's start from the Pope. Now, Catholics all over the world celebrated this week because we now have a new Pope, an American Pope. Now he goes by Pope Leo XIV. And as usual, anything that concerns the United States of America, when it starts, everybody goes wild. This was met with different types and forms of reaction in the United States. The Republicans, the Democrats trust the Americans to always turn everything to politics. The Republicans and Democrats obviously started throwing out whether or not he was on their side, and I was like, this man is just a leader of the Catholic Church. He's not running for president. He's not running for power. So why exactly does this matter? But then, on the other hand, if you look at it, because the Pope is a very strong religious figure, I dare say the strongest religious figure in the world, whatever he says, whatever actions he takes, whatever social issues he chooses to put his comments on, obviously will have a bigger say in where the world geopolitically goes towards. Now, trust the internet sleuths to go and dig into his past. And from what I found, it looks like Pope Leo XVI, before now, um, he's an American. Not before now, he's actually an American. He was born in Chicago, United States of America in 1955. So that means that this year, the Pope the Pope is 69, as that's when he became the Pope, Pope Leo XIV. Is 69 years, and then looking at the history, looking at the track record, looking at the average age of most popes that we find, he is young for a pope. In fact, he only became a cardinal 2 years ago. So it means that if Pope Francis had died 3 years ago, the current Pope Leo will not be Pope Leo. Think about it. So it looks like, and obviously the people have been associating Pope Leo with Pope Francis because it looks like it's one of Pope Francis's people, because um, his current appointment in Rome was given to him by Pope Francis. So there are people that are saying this may just be a succession plan where a new person that has the same idea, the same opinions, the same guidelines with the previous pope has come into power to continue the work of his predecessor. But then on the other hand, when obviously the internet sleuths went to investigate his past, they found out that actually, whether or not he is now, he was once a Republican. He registered and voted Republican. So, in that case, can we really say he is going to be the succession of Pope Francis in oil ramification, be it in ideology and be it in being the Pope? Because Pope Francis is known for being a little more accepting with progressive and social beliefs. And then, if the current Pope used to be a Republican, can you really say is the, I don't know, next in command to Pope Francis? This made a lot of reactions, obviously. Those non-American, or first of all, the President of United States, Donald Trump, obviously came out to congratulate the first American Pope in history, saying that it's a big win for the United States. And then those who are not from the Americas came out to start decrying it. Some people went ahead to say that America has both the Antichrist and then the Pope at the same time. A lot of things are going on in America. If you recall and check your history, you realize that actually America is hosting the World Cup next year. America is hosting the Olympics in 2018. America is going to be 250 years old very pretty soon. So it looks like everything seems to just be aligning for America. And then, what can I say? It's good news, I guess, that the Pope has now emerged, because It looks like this was one of the fastest conclaves. A conclave is where cardinals below a certain age come together, lock themselves up. Yes, you got it right. Lock themselves up into a room, and nobody will come out until they have a new pope. And when they have an election, if it's inconclusive, there will be a black smoke emanated to signify that we see the yellow. And if it's a white smoke, yes, you give it time, and then the new pope will appear on the balcony. And when Pope Leo XIV appeared on the balcony, he came out with a peace message. And then their reaction was because when he came out, he did not speak his primary language or the language of where he's from, English. He spoke in two languages. He spoke in Latin, which is typical of what the Pope speaks in, because Latin is the widely spoken language in the Roman Catholic Church. So it is fine and fair for him to speak Latin. But the part that people really do not understand was because he also spoke in Spanish. And I guess that he did this because of where he's from. So his diocese is originally in Peru, and in that country they speak Spanish. And so he was just basically greeting members of his local diocese, and that was why he spoke Spanish. Yes, and so although people were thinking that he spoke Spanish simply to distance himself from the United States, I do not think that's what he's doing, until maybe when he begins to speak, or when he begins to take action, when he begins to speak up against the United States of America, then we can now be 100% sure that what he's actually doing is going against his home country. And so to we Catholics around the world, I say that because, yeah, yours truly is a Catholic as well. So we Catholics around the world, I say congrats to us, for we have a new Pope. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Do you think Pope Leo XIV is a good choice for the Catholic Church at this time? Let me know in the comment section below. And moving on to the next gist, very dark man, the GT Bank and EFCC. Now this story, I heard about it when it newly started, but I decided not to, because I felt it was just a regular, the invite very dark man. He goes in, he explains himself, he comes out, it's typical of a day in the life of a very dark man. But then I began to hear more gist about it and hear that actually it was picked up from a bank, and then alarms started ringing in my head. How did the EFCC pick up very dark man in a bank? What exactly happened? And then I dug deeper, and then for people like me who are just getting to find out what the real gist is, turns out very dark man's mother had an issue with Guarantee Trust Bank. And what happened was she kept on getting alerts, debit alerts on her account, and then when they tried to complain to the bank, they heard that actually someone had taken a loan on her account, and so that was the money that was deducted was basically serving the loan that was taken on her account using her NIN. And then when very dark man, being very dark man, when he got the complaint, apparently he did not know what was going on. He was giving his mother supplementary money per month, but then so she did not really feel it. But then it was like, how am I fighting for justice for others? And my mom at home is going through what she's going through. And then very dark man, being very dark man, decided to come and make a video about it. So it means that when he made a video about it, telling GT Bank that he's coming to the bank to complain about his mom's issues with them, he gave them the forward that, see, I am coming. And so I guess that maybe, perhaps, probably, possibly, they decided to, I don't know, make preparations for his, welcoming in proper fashion, I guess. And so he went to complain. And then during the complaint, they found out that actually GT Bank said someone took a loan with his mom's NIN. And then the question now becomes, how exactly does this loan thing work? Permit me to digress a bit. Now, to collect a loan nowadays in the country, it looks like there are a lot of loan apps out there where you don't even need to do much paperwork. They really make it sound like in 5 minutes you can get 500,000 loan. Some people go out more than saying you can get millions without any high level of guarantees, verification. It looks like it's just a very swift process. And then the question now becomes, is this causing more harm than good? Because if someone is supposed to take a loan that is supposed to be servicing monthly, the bank, the loan provider, needs to do some form of due diligence. It's called it KYC, know your customer, where they inquire, they find out, they ensure that the person that is taking this loan is the actual owner of the account. So has this been done in the past, where they found out that this loan was actually taken by a very dark man's mother? Has this been done in the past, where they found out that it is not a fraudulent loan taken with her name? Because another thing to note is it looks like most of these fintechs are a bit desperate, because the Opes of the world, the Pampers of the world, money posts of the world seems to have come in and changed the thing. So it looks like everybody is in a race to beat this, top three fintech companies. So it looks like, apparently, allegedly, due diligence seems to be going out the window. So you may not get a situation whereby you have not opened an account with this particular one of these particular fintech companies, and they keep calling you, sending you emails, and you wonder where exactly they got your details from. How exactly is this legal for them to send you emails, giving you repeated calls, advertising their goods and services when you never signed up to receive this form of advert? So it is an issue of lack of due diligence from whoever provided this loan. Is it an issue of maybe some lies going on, where she actually took this loan and is denying that she took it, or maybe someone of our member of our family used her details to take this loan, and then the bank is not explaining properly, and then this mix-up is happening? What exactly could be going on? Who knows, right? I guess as the days unfold, you'll get to find out more of these gist. Now, when Very Dark Man went to the bank, apparently, when he was there, some people came in to pick him up. And this is the part that I have an issue with. And I got different forms of information. Some people came out to say that Very Dark Man they trapped him with the security door. So you know that in a bank, when you go in, there are two doors. You go in through the first door, the one behind you closes, and the one in front of you opens for you to come out. So apparently, the first gist I heard was that when he went into the first door, they refused to open the second door. They were claiming it was not opening, and then some EFCC officials landed, and then eventually, or coincidentally, the door was open, and then the EFCC people beat him up and whisked him away. That was account one. Account two, on the other hand, said that he actually got out. He was in the car trying to drive out with his guy, and then he got blocked in front of him. Some guys jumped down and started shouting that from DSS. They beat them up, they pushed them. Him was with his friend. They beat them up, put them in the car, and zoomed off. So, was it inside the security door that he was trapped? That will give it a different connotation. At that point, that was false imprisonment by the bank. So the whatever allegations, the whatever lawsuit that you'll be given will be different. Was it exposing of a customer's private information, aka his whereabouts? Now that means a totally different thing. So what exactly was the story? Was it inside the security door? Has he already gotten out and was in his car and then he got picked up? Issue that I don't understand. Number two issue that I don't understand, was it the EFCC that came to pick him, or the DSS? Because one news said that the EFCC officials came and picked him up. Another news said that he was actually accosted by DSS officials, and I guess they came to the EFCC. Who knows, right? So these are contrary opinions that came out, and obviously right now the gist is that Very Dark Man is out, and then now that he's out, what happens next? Chose Very Dark Man to make a joke about everything. He came out, did his videos as usual, as everybody expects, of him celebrating that he's out, and then next he makes a video to say that to start making some comments about the EFCC and the GT Bank. He said that a bigger video is coming, and at the time of me recording this, my own video, that full gist is not yet out as regards what exactly happened. In Very Dark Man video that I could find, he only explained that him and the EFCC want to start a long friendship, and then in their long friendship, the video they took about it, they should not put that he is an alleged fraudster, because if they do it, it will mean that whatever they have been doing has been wrong. So all the people that have been saying are fraudsters, maybe they are not really fraudsters, they just arrested them and are putting their pictures up for quick wins. A part in this video that caught my attention was, he mentioned, if you say that I do tax evasion, that is fine. But don't call me a fraudster. I have not defrauded anybody. And then I was like, are you supposed to be saying this? Tax evasion, I know, is a crime and depends on the amount. People go to prison for tax evasion. So I do not know what the Nigerian law says. I'm not a legal practitioner, but tax evasion, as far as I know, is a criminal offense. And then if you say I do tax evasion, it's fine. So that means that he has been, evading paying his full taxes. What exactly is going on there? I guess those who are on the back end be able to investigate more. And he also said that the EFCC is with his devices, has access to all his information. My guess is that he was giving people fair warning so they should not send him anything that may or may not incriminate him to his personal phone. He also said that yes, all the evidences he has, in fact, the video of what exactly happened in the bank is on the phone, and so the EFCC should not delete it. So I would like to see what exactly the video he has says, because the GT Bank obviously has been trying to do PR to defend themselves, bringing out information as regards what exactly transpired between them and Very Dark Man, and then obviously the news about Very Dark Man's people and quote and unquote disciples going to withdraw their money, close their accounts, and all not to shut down the bank. I saw that as yes, it makes sense, because if you are using a bank and a bank does not serve you, my guy, come to Sterling. But anyway, if you are using a bank and a bank does not, oh, by the way, let me do a shameless plug-in. So, if you have a bank and the bank does not serve you well, the bank deducts your money, because speak the truth, there are banks that we know, I won't be mentioning names, there are banks that we know that, for example, someone transferred 10,000 naira to you, and then you see your balance is 8,900. That is a true story, but I won't be mentioning the bank that it happened with. I did that to a friend of mine. So if you have a bank like that, and the bank also a bank that charges you excessively, what are you doing in the bank? You should come to Sterling Bank. And then when you come to Sterling Bank, don't forget, if you're a new customer, go to your app store, go to your Play Store, download Sterling One Bank. You'll see the icon, create a new account, and when you are signing in, don't forget, use my referral code. It is JB05882. I call it again, JB05882, and one last time, JB05882. Now back to the story. So if you're using a bank and they're not serving you well, obviously you have the right to withdraw your money, to close your account. I don't know, there's an issue with closing accounts in Nigeria that it does not seem to be working well. Maybe I'll do a separate video about banking and banking systems in Nigeria. I'll do a deep dive into that in maybe one of my next videos. But then there seems to be an issue with banks and being able to close down your account. So obviously they went to withdraw their money, close down their accounts, and that is fine and that is fair. But will this run GTB down? I do not think so. And I was looking at it, and I told a friend of mine that yes, I think they have the right to do what they are doing. Why I think that they have the right to express their anger in this format. I do not think this is going to run down the bank. There's only so much passion, or there's only so much hot temper, there's only so much anger can do. It cannot run a bank like Guarantee Trust Bank down. Yes, bad press is bad press. Yes, it will affect them, bad PR and all. But will it make them close down? It will definitely not make them close down, because they are too big for this. If it was maybe, just look at, for example, on the other side of the issue that have been happening with First Bank, customer, First Bank employee defrauding First Bank, taking money out of people's accounts. There's the issue of the ownership of First Bank, members of their board, and what has been going on there. The First Bank will run down. No, it is still one of the top 3 banks in the country. So I believe that what exactly was happening about Guarantee Trust Bank, yes, it's bad press. Yes, it will affect their ratings somewhat, but will it run them down? I do not think it will. So going forward on this, I would like to get your reaction on this. I don't know, just open mic. How will you assess this issue between GT Bank, the EFCC, and the Very Dark Man and his followers? Let me know your comments in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video, share the videos with somebody, and subscribe to the Eccentric Side. Until next time, from me to you, as I always say, stay eccentric. Pause button. Pause button. Pause button.